Hello everyone, welcome to the online session of Manu Law classes. My name is Brijesh and I work here as an English faculty. In today's session, we are going to discuss passage solving strategies along with vocab building strategies. As you can see on the screen, it says, your future as a judge or a lawyer will revolve around reading loads of documents, books, judgment, comprehending the main point, comprehending the argument and viewpoints, drawing inference and conclusion, comparison and contrasting difference argument and viewpoints, understanding the meaning of words and phrases. So before we start, we need to understand what is reading comprehension. Needless to say that you have been studying reading comprehensions when you were in 5th class or further classes. But when it comes to competitive examination, there is a drastic difference between the ones that you read in school and the ones that you are going to prepare for competitive examinations. Let's understand one by one. What is reading comprehension? The word comprehension originates from the Latin word comprehendere, which means to seize or capture. Reading comprehension involves a minimum of two people, the reader and the writer. Let's say I am the writer, I have written something and I have given some question. So my intention is for you to read those and then answer the question that has been asked. It requires to understand the issues first and then mark the correct options. As this topic suggests here, fundamental skills required to solve a reading comprehension efficiently. When you Google this term, how to solve reading comprehension, you will come up with a lot of ideas that will tell you how to solve reading comprehension. But all those are secondary. What is primary? Number one, good command over a lot of vocabulary. How do you build vocabulary? I will discuss in further slides. First, let's talk about grammar. How do you build grammar power? See, grammar is not very difficult, but if someone doesn't practice it a lot, it becomes difficult for them. Especially when it comes to competitive exams, they ask questions from the rules that you are not taught in school. So it clearly means when you prepare for CLAT, AILET and other law entrance examination, you have to specifically go to those rules. Those are not taught in your schools. The only way to ace in this section, the grammar part, is to practice a lot. When you have been served with loads of information, your mind has to be so active, like when you read things and you immediately understand it and answer the questions. So the only two things are required to solve a reading comprehension. One, having good command over grammar. Next, you have to have good command over vocabulary. Let's talk about vocabulary. How do you build vocab power? Read English novels. To those who are basic, they can read novels because they are interesting. If you are starting with editorial, you will find it boring and you will end up in forgetting all the things that you read. So start with reading English novels. You will find it interesting as well as you will involve yourself there. Then you can switch to some magazines, some prominent magazines, followed by newspapers. See, it is not a one-day game. You have to be consistent when you are practicing for reading comprehensions. Try reading blogs. Blogs like Live Blog, blogs like there is an app called Make Me Better. You can go there and you can practice a lot of articles and vocab along with. Write down at least 10 words and try making sentences out of that. Let's say, if I teach you a sentence, procrastinate, you have to take it as make sentence out of it. Like, I do not procrastinate. Or when you change it into a noun form, it becomes procrastination. So procrastination is bad if you are preparing for any examinations. One more way to learn vocabulary, to remember vocabulary, is to know what part of speech is that particular word. As I just discussed, procrastinate is a verb, procrastination is a noun. So when you discuss these terms with yourself, you will inculcate how you can recognize the particular word. Number 4th, use it or lose it. What happens when you see a movie of 3 hours? While watching, you interact with, you hear a lot of vocabulary. As soon as you finish the movie, what happens? You forget all those. So your job is there to note down every word that you have learned and then utilize it later on. Here I am going to discuss with you some general FAQs that I get during I teach. The very first one is, as you can see on your screen, should I follow PQ or QP rule? What is PQ and what is QP? PQ is passes first followed by question. QP is read the question first and then do the passage. My recommendation here is read the question first and then do the passage. How do I support my idea here? Let's say, before I tell you any story, I ask you that be attentive, because when I finish my story, I will ask the name of protagonist. While listening to my story, you will be focused upon the name of protagonist. Similarly, when you read the question first, you are fully attentive while reading the passage that this particular answer has to be given. Question number 2. What should I do if a question is taking so much time? Okay, when any question takes more than 2 minutes of yours, just leave it, because ultimately it is gonna affect the other part of your examination. So my recommendation is here, do not attempt any question if it is taking more than 2 minutes. Question number 3 is, how would I use a pen while reading through a screen, through any screen? You might have heard this saying that a book read without a pen is a waste. But the scenario, the time has changed. Now people prefer reading online. So the question is relevant here. How would I use a pen while reading through any screen? What I personally feel, zoom out whatever you read. Do not read the tiny words on the screen, because it specifically focuses on big letters, so your brain remembers it easily and it easily comprehends. On the other hand, when you read tiny words, you get confused and you forget things. So I recommend here, when you are reading offline, use a pen, that is mandatory. On the other hand, when you read something which is online, which is on a screen, zoom that thing out. Question number 4. I get distracted while reading. What should I do? It is usual. Everybody gets distracted. But you have to inculcate habit of reading a lot without losing your concentration. There are so many ideas to do it. 1. Just put all your distraction in another room, and the other one, be very focused when you are reading. It comes by the time. The key is consistency. Question number 5. I'm not able to memorize vocabulary. We have previously discussed how you memorize the vocabulary. You have to know that term, you have to talk that term to yourself, and you have to explain the term to your friends, colleague, and utilize that into a sentence. Then you will be able to memorize all those vocabularies. Question number 6. I forget the first half when I read the second half. It is also usual. So the idea is here, you have to be focused while you are reading without distraction. If it happens once, it happens twice, it happens thrice. But day by day, you will be in the habit of reading all the things. Make sure initially start reading something which is interesting. If something which is boring, you will lose the concentration. So start practicing with something interesting. Question number 7. I am good at factual questions but bad at inference based question. So if you are good at factual questions, it means the education that you have got is helping you. But with reference to inferential questions, you have to be more attentive and read. Do not miss out any single word. Try to guess the meaning of the word while you are reading. Make a good notes of word meanings and then keep practicing. Practice is the key. Question number 8. How do I know my level? To know your level, you can answer the questions that are asked after reading comprehensions. Because if you just read newspaper day by day and you do not practice, you will not know what is your level. So start reading something which is simple and then try answering that question. And then day by day switch to moderate passages. When you start reading moderate passage and you are able to answer, switch to editorial or any other novels or magazines and then answer them. Start reading editorial passages based on editorial, passages based on magazines, passages based on prominent books, and then answer those questions. Day by day you will understand, okay, initially I made this mistake, then this mistake, but now my mistakes are being finished. Now I no longer make mistakes. As soon as you no longer make mistake, your level is increasing. To sum up this, I would like to simply say that reading comprehension is not a big deal if you practice a lot. So practice. And to sum up also, there is a famous doha by Kavivar Vrind. It is one of the dohas that I have recited and it helps me in my day-to-day life. It simply says, Karat karat abhyas te jadmati hoy sujan, रसरी आवत जाते सिलपड़ परत निशान. सो स्टूडेंट्स, जब कभी आप डीमोटिवेटेड होते हो या आपको ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन मेरे लिए बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट रहा है या है, डू नॉट फॉरगेट दैट एनीथिंग कैन बी एक्वायर्ड. जैसे कि इस दोहे में एक रस्सी जो कि बहुत ही कमजोर होती है पर लगातार पत्थर पे घिसाव से वो उस पत्थर पे भी निशान बना सकती है. द सेम वे व्हेन यू प्रैक्टिस अ लॉट you will be able to do anything, be it reading comprehension, be it law entrance examination, be it becoming a good lawyer. I wish you all the best. Keep practicing, keep learning, and do share your comments and your questions if you have any. And also you can comment on what topic would you like us to provide you some information. Be it tenses, be it another part of grammar, we are there to help you out. Thank you so much.